Okay, look, we've all had our fun on this channel. We laughed, we cried, know what I'm saying? Remember that. But every now and then, there comes a video that is just so asinine in its conception that even if it's from a person I swore to never cover again, I simply can't help myself. As you can see, good old hamster brain Harman has a bit of a big brain take regarding the Blizzard situation, and I thought, what better way to spend my days off than to listen to this moron talk out of his ass for 5 minutes for entertainment? You all better thank me for this.
Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, and King Dio.
And in classic Harman Smith fashion, he decided it was a good idea to fucking dox himself in a video like this. Nice to see some things never change.
This is where the fun begins.
The Blizzard situation is very, very interesting. For those of you who don't know, a bunch of women are accusing Blizzard company culture of being misogynistic and chauvinistic and women being forced to do all the work that men should be doing.
You disgust me. You disgust everyone.
How to say you haven't looked into the Blizzard situation without saying you haven't looked into the Blizzard situation. So, for those of you who don't know, a class action lawsuit from California has been filed against Activision Blizzard after a 2-year investigation into what has been going on in the Blizzard offices. Essentially, there have been numerous reports of sexual harassment in the form of cub crawls, which is as creepy as it sounds, inappropriate comments and behavior, the infamous Cosby suite, which, yes, it is as dark as it sounds, and generally being a terrible place to work. I'll go into more detail as we go on, but for now, what a fucking disingenuous way to paint the situation, Harman. But I don't know what I expected from the same guy who made a video saying George Floyd needed to be kneeled on.
I'm hearing stories of women being sexually assaulted while guys are playing COD. It's ridiculous. I don't really take it all that seriously. I think.
Of course you don't, Harman, because you have the mental capacity of an earthworm. Look, I always say trust but verify, because time and time again we have seen people be falsely accused and have their lives ruined, even after they were proven innocent. But this is a case that has been investigated for 2 years, Harman. There are a litany of details that lend credence to the situation being true. Not to mention, a woman fucking killed herself during a business trip due to one of her abusers sharing her nudes around the office. An abuser, by the way, she was going to have to spend the trip with.
It's a complete joke, right? I'm starting, for the record, I'm starting to disbelieve all of these rape accusations from women, because
oh, man, I sure wouldn't like to be a lady friend to Harman after a statement like that. Okay, you know what? Let's let him finish the statement first. Maybe he's going somewhere with this point? Please, God.
Every single time, it's just someone trying to advance their career or trying to get money out of it. And I think that's absolutely what's happening here.
Ooh, boy.
Nope, it's just as bad as I thought. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck!
You have a bunch of women who are sensing an opportunity to get ahead.
How was the woman who killed herself trying to get ahead, Harman? Educate me, because I just can't see it.
By trying to tear down everything that the men around them have built, right? Their company, their business structure, their games, and they don't give a shit. They really don't.
Yeah, you're right. Fucking women trying to tear down men by being subjected to cube crawls, or having men walk into a lactation room for pregnant women to watch until they're screamed at to leave. Or my personal favorite, a woman being denied maternity leave. How dare they? This really is cancel culture.
This is the thing the really interesting thing about the Blizzard situation is this is the end result of what happens when you allow women in the workplace, right? Because
okay, so I don't like to throw this word around as it's always used in situations where it doesn't apply, but that is a fucking incel mindset. Holy shit! Let's see how far down the rabbit hole he goes, shall we?
it's not about like actually making an interesting product and like selling it to your customers. Like it's about the women who work there, right? And how like oppressed they are by the evil men, and how they the only thing that can fix this problem is money and attention. Like, this isn't what the consumer wants, right? Like, right now, Blizzard has just acknowledged that they are halting development on all their games, including World of Warcraft, which is a monthly subscription-based thing, in order to focus on this lawsuit, in order to focus on these allegations of sexism.
Yes, because these are very serious allegations, Harman. And every fucking week, something new has come out about the goings-on at Blizzard. Are you gonna blame women for work being stopped, Harman? Is that where you're going with this?
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
And consumers are pissed, right? And they should be, because it's not... The company should be working on the game regardless of whether or not they're currently in the middle of a lawsuit, right? Like, you're supposedly paying them for a product that you aren't getting, right? Like,
well, quite frankly, anyone who still willingly gives money to Blizzard ever since the Blitzchung incident is a fucking moron as far as I'm concerned, but that's besides the point.
Assuming you are still subscribed to WoW, which, as I understand, is not really a thing right now. More and more people are jumping to Final Fantasy XIV, because Final Fantasy XIV, despite all of its flaws, does not pull this shit.
Wait, what do you mean by pull this shit, Harman? Do you mean they don't sexually harass their female employees, or are you insinuating something darker?
They don't have women, like, dictating what you can and can't do, like filing lawsuits.
That's what you meant, you fucking troglodyte? You do realize they don't have lawsuits because there are likely no cases of sexual harassment going on, right? Yoshi P is someone who deeply cares about his employees' health. Hell, he literally does not allow them to work overtime, as he doesn't want to see their health suffer for the game. Also, guess who wrote the Dark Knight job quest, Shadowbringers, and is writing the upcoming Endwalker expansion? Natsuko Ishikawa. A woman!
It's a complete joke, right?
The only joke here is your dying channel.
It is a complete joke. So, what should you do? What should you, the consumer, do?
Boycott Blizzard like you should have done after the Blitzchung incident. And I mean a real boycott, not an in-game WoW protest that does nothing. Cancel your WoW subscription, delete Battle.net, and stop playing every game they have ever made. If the consumer really wants to stick it to Blizzard, that's how you do it. But something tells me that's not what you think we should do, Harman.
Take your business elsewhere, right? Like, WoW is done, it's over. Blizzard is done, it's over. They're never going to make games again. Like, either...
Oh, wow, I stand corrected. I actually agree with Harman on this point?
Impossible.
Jesus Christ, the world really is going to shit, isn't it?
The women are going to win, I'm sure. And the games are going to stop being made, right?
And just like that, his point has been retracted.
They're going to get ahead. They're going to, like, get the money they want or whatever. And then they're going to, like, go ruin another company. Like, once Blizzard sinks, which I think is going to be very, very soon.
You know, the fucked up thing is Blizzard is probably going to be fine. If Ubisoft can get away with sexual harassment allegations, then Blizzard definitely can. God, that just makes me depressed.
The game will, like, take a sharp decline in quality because, like, none of these women actually have, like, any programming experience or
Stop it. Get some help.
any idea how to make the games or anything like that. You know, just a woman's method of getting something done is just tell a man to do it.
Jesus Christ, Harman. That is an incredibly sexist thing to say. What were you thinking uploading this video? And you're trying to be a published author? You know what? No. I'm not doing this. I can already see where the rest of this video is going, and I'm not going to subject myself or my viewers to your inane drivel. So instead, let's have a look at your books and have a laugh instead, shall we? Let's look at his book, shall we? Okay, first up, we have Cruel and Beautiful. Okay. The immortal vampire Amaris Yu desires nothing more than to seize control over the forces of darkness. The Noctis, from her... The Noctis, from her enemies the Brides of Dracula, over a period of 50 years have sent wave after wave of monsters to kill her. Despite evading or killing each of these creatures, over time Amara slowly becomes more and more exhausted and is forced to prey upon the easiest catch for a vampire. Horny teammate. We need to talk about Kevin? No. We need to talk about Harman. In a stroke of luck, Amaris Yu discovers a young boy whose blood is so rich that it revitalizes her and gives her a fraction of her old strength and energy back in order to keep him around. Amaris decides to enter a relationship with him. This is definitely one of my weirder ones. You don't say. The original idea came from Genesis Evangelion, of all things. I was watching it and thought Shinji was a complete bitch for not going for Rei or Asuka. I came up with this concept of an abusive female vampire preying on a willing human victim. Is that your fantasy, Harman? I feel that most Western creators tend to shy away from sexualizing female characters. And I challenged myself to break that trend with this sultry vampire. I really wanted to emphasize that this chick was hot as hell, and that Mike, of course his name is Mike, the human protagonist, was really attached to her in spite of all her bullshit. In a way, I feel the novel is about how it's more important for a woman to be a good person than to be beautiful.
He's full of shit!
You know, that's not the vibe I got from reading this little excerpt, and honestly, I'm starting to understand where your ideas about women came from. Alright, next, we got Eye of the Dragon. For hundreds of years, the elusive knighthood of the Order of the Dragon. Wow, really good. This really showcases your creative juices. You're gonna kill it as an author. I am certain. Protected Europe from evil such as the you just reused that word. All right, the Noctis and Hellraisers. They combat witches and other creatures in their bid to establish the Order as one of the most powerful and influential in Europe. Knight and scholar Lucille Langley discovers a young man, oh no, with the ability known as the Dragon Within, part of his body that can turn into that of a dragon. What's that fucking Cartoon Network Dragon movie that came out? Hold on. Alright, hold on, we're taking a deep search. Hold on. Cartoon Network Dragon movie. Fire Breather! Yeah, that's just Fire Breather! Alright, moving on. Where was I? Contains parts into that of a dragon, and is able to unleash incredible magical powers. Meanwhile, across the continent, another man with a dragon within is approached by the Order. When he refuses to join, they attack, and he swears vengeance against the entire Order. This one is a bit longer than The Cruel and Beautiful, and is meant to be the first in a trilogy. Oh, you're not getting a fucking trilogy, Harman. Give up. The setting and characters are more fleshed out, and I think this is an example of what typical novel for me is going to look forward. Is going to look like going forward. Jesus. The novel was inspired by Dragon Quest IV of all things, and the result is the main protagonist Jack is not in focus. Then why introduce him? This one, I feel like, really focuses on the morality of the characters and how their experiences sort of shape them. Jack is positively thrilled about the possibility of entering a world where he's encouraged to hurt and kill things. Jesus Christ. Alright, projecting a little bit there, Harman? For a higher cause, of course. Well then it's okay. Well, Soren wants nothing more than to live a normal life. That contrast, I think, really makes the novel stand out from others like it. No, that is the most generic-ass, contrast conflict I think I've ever heard in my life. Oh, and most importantly, there is a lot of fighting and killing, so even if you don't care for the characters or plot, you won't be bored.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It's a novel. Without characters or plot, what do you have left? What are you talking about? Alright, last we got Robert. Oh, it's just one sentence. Wonderful. Will Wei is a college student who spends his free time studying martial arts. Of course he does. One day he saves a girl from being abducted and is enveloped in a massive sprawling sex traffic. Yep. Yeah. What an amazing roster of novels, I would say. Man, Harman, what are you doing YouTube? You need to go all into your writing, because this is something. And now we've reached the end. I've got nothing to say here, so I'm just gonna go get drunk and let this adorable bird say my final thoughts for me.